president and founder of GRIN2B Foundation. I live just outside Chicago, Illinois with my husband Phil and our 3 children. Our daughter Lucy was diagnosed with GRIN2B back in 2014 when she was just 18 months old. That diagnosis was a life-changing experience for us. At that time, there were no organizations to support GRIN2B or GRIN disorder. I came up with the idea for GRIN2B Foundation in 2016, and along with a group of other GRIN2B parents, we formed our nonprofit in 2017. The mission of our organization is to support families, promote awareness, and fund much-needed research for this ultra-rare disorder. I'm so pleased with all we've been able to accomplish in just 4 short years. But there is still so much more work to do. We are incredibly grateful to work alongside fellow GRIN organizations, GRIN Foundation, GRIN2B Europe, and all the other country-specific GRIN organizations. Though we have different names and missions, we all are working together towards a better future for our loved ones with GRIN disorders. Thank you so much for joining our 2021 GRIN2B Hive Webinar Week. We are so pleased to provide this webinar series for our families in place of our rescheduled family weekend. Our goal with these webinars is to engage, educate, and empower our families, especially those newly diagnosed in the past few years. We know that many people are experiencing Zoom fatigue, so we have pre-recorded the bulk of these webinars for you to watch at your convenience. There is no right or wrong way to view these webinars. Watch them in one sitting while folding laundry, or break them up into smaller chunks. We do have 2 webinars that are live this week. If you'd like to watch in real time and ask questions at the end, please head over to our webinar event page for details on how to register. We hope you'll take the time to learn about all the rest of our individual programs from our board of directors. If you have an idea or a suggestion, please reach out. We have a passionate board, but at the end of the day, we're all unpaid volunteers who parent extremely complicated children. More help is always needed and always appreciated. Thank you so much for joining our Beehive this week.
Hi, I'm Donna Dunn, the Vice President of GRIN2B Foundation. In 2014, my son Charlie was diagnosed with GRIN2B. At that time, we couldn't find any other families or organizations for GRIN2B, so I started the GRIN2B Parent Support Group on Facebook. I was the only member of that group until Marfia Ash's daughter was diagnosed, and they found me. I was thrilled to be a founding board member in 2017. Today, I'm going to tell you about some of the research that we have funded over the past 2 years and what we're looking to do down the road. To date, we have awarded over $160,000 in grants. Through our annual research grant program, we have supported projects through the University of Alabama and most recently, Emory University in Georgia. Additionally, we funded the GRIN Variant Patient Registry at the University of Colorado from 2019 to 2020. This was allowing us to collect data for GRIN2B and all GRIN gene variants. We have a big year for 2021 planned. We are in discussion with Emory University to continue funding some of their GRIN2B mice models. We are also in the very early stages of planning the very first GRIN Centers of Excellence in the United States. These centers will function as multidisciplinary clinics where GRIN patients can see a team of doctors and therapists all in one day. We are working to coordinate these centers with several different medical institutions in the U.S. and are working closely with GRIN Foundation to ensure these centers meet the need of the entire GRIN community. We don't have an exact timeline yet on when the centers will open, but we're still in the early development, so stay tuned for more details. We are so excited to both fund and develop this much needed resource for our community.
Hi, Hi, I'm Phil Ash with GRIN2B Foundation. It has been an honor to be a part of this organization since its beginnings in 2017, and an even bigger honor to see it grow and thrive and assist families all over the world. Like all of us, 2020 threw our organization's plans off course and we had to start from square one. In early 2020, we were busy planning our second GRIN2B Family Weekend, a two-day in-person event providing families with support and resources, as well as ample opportunities to connect and bond with each other. Due to the pandemic, we have rescheduled this event for July 2022 in Chicago, Illinois. These family weekends are critically important to our community. Meeting fellow GRIN2B families in person is so special. There's just an instant understanding and connection between all of us, and we hope more families can experience those connections next July. Keep an eye on your emails and social media pages for more information on registering for this event later this year. There will be opportunities for families to apply for travel stipends. And for those that cannot attend in person, we will work to make sure sessions can be live streamed where feasible or recorded and added to our YouTube channel at a later date. I also want to highlight a podcast I created, Celebrating Rare, the GRIN2B podcast. I teach radio, television, and broadcasting to high school students, and podcasting was something I thought I could do to help GRIN2B families. Podcast episodes feature various topics and guests, and the goal is to help parents navigate the various aspects of living with and treating GRIN2B-related neurodevelopmental disorder. I hope to release more episodes before the year is over, so keep an eye out on social media and GRIN2B.com for future postings.
Hi, I'm Brittany Kreider, and I'm the Family Outreach Coordinator for GRIN2B Foundation. I live near Columbus, Ohio with my husband, our bee Natalie, and our son Mikey. I'm very proud of the work our organization has done to support our community. This past May, we launched our first equipment assistance program, as we all know too well how difficult it can be to get items such as safety beds, communication devices, and medical strollers covered by insurance companies. Please check out our website for instructions on how to apply for this assistance program. We also offer support to our community through our private Facebook parent support group, Zoom meetups, and our public social media pages. If you haven't joined our parent support group yet, please request access and make sure to answer the questions so that we can verify that you're in the right place. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me on Facebook, Brittany Kreider, or send me an email. When the pandemic began in 2020, we began hosting periodic Zoom meetups. If there's still an interest from our community, we will definitely keep hosting these virtual meetups. We would like to make future Zoom meetups specific to a particular topic. If you have a topic suggestion, please just let us know. Lastly, we would love to feature your children on our Facebook page. In the past, we've run a campaign called Superpower Saturday, and each Saturday we feature a GRIN2B individual along with a story from their caregiver telling us what their superpower is. We love showing off the strengths of our children and connecting our families and loved ones together.
Hi, I'm Carole Quennessen, Secretary of GRIN2B Foundation and the Chair of the Fundraising Committee. My daughter Emma was diagnosed with a mutation on her GRIN2B gene in 2014 when she was just 7 years old. At that point, we weren't expecting a diagnosis anymore because after the first 3 years where we went to doctor's visit after doctor's visit, we had stopped hoping for answers to our developmental delays. Instead, we had concentrated on her therapies. So when we had the call that she had a diagnosis of a GRIN2B mutation, it was kind of a surprise at that point. It was a few years after that diagnosis that Liz reached out and GRIN2B Foundation was started. So now for my work on the fundraising committee, we brainstorm new ideas and we've created a fundraising toolkit to help guide families on creating their own fundraisers. All of our accomplishments over the last 4 years have been thanks to dedicated GRIN2B families raising money and generating awareness. You all have come through in big ways, even during this pandemic. In September, we're hosting our second annual Be Active for GRIN2B Walk or Run. This is a simple way to get involved, raise funds to support our mission, and spread awareness in your community about GRIN2B. You simply pick any day in September to host your event. You can plan it to be as large or as small as you're comfortable with. keeping in mind any potential COVID restrictions in your community, of course. You can walk around your neighborhood, or you can host a walk at a nearby park or trail. And when we say walk, it could be a walk, a run, a swim, bike, just getting out and moving. You can create your own fundraising page through our Be Active page on Raisely and just spread the word. You can also order Be Active t-shirts with your own team name on them. Last year, we raised $25,000 for our inaugural Be Active event. This year, now that COVID restrictions have been lifted in a lot of places, we're hoping that we can increase the participation and raise $30,000. There are many ways for you to fundraise and make a difference for our bees. If you have an idea for a fundraising campaign for GRIN2B Foundation, please email me at fundraising@grin2b.com. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Hookings from GRIN2B Foundation. I live in Australia with my husband and 2 children, and I was so excited to join the board of directors last year. My fellow board members have already told you about some of the ways you can get involved with our organisation, and I want to share 2 final ways. Each year, during the 3rd week in March, we celebrate GRIN2B Awareness Week in order to educate the public about GRIN2B related neurodevelopmental disorder. During this week, we share facts about GRIN2B along with beautiful profiles of our GRIN2B community members, affectionately known as our bees. You can help us this week by sharing your children's stories with us and by sharing all of our posts within your own community. This is also a great week to educate your child's school about GRIN2B. We have a Google Slides template you can modify and use for both a child and adult friendly presentation. Finally, if you would like to make a more direct impact on our organisation, we are in the process of forming a parent advisory committee. This committee will be a collaborative effort between the GRIN2B Foundation Board of Directors and parents of individuals with GRIN2B. Our board has no shortage of program ideas, but what we lack is time and resources to accomplish all of our goals. If you're interested in joining our Parent Advisory Committee, please email me and we'll be in touch soon.